Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope you guys are all having a great day, and I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you guys who have subscribed and helped support the channel up to this point. Just hit 88 subs, so for me that's a big deal, and just want to say thank you to everyone who is subscribed right now. And if you aren't, go ahead and hit the subscribe. We're close to 100, and that would be awesome to hit. So without any more talking, let's get into today's video. Okay, so today I wanted to make a quick video talking about some useful tips that could just help you level up your one-wheel game. If you want to just move up to kind of the next riding level, just improve your skills, tune them, or just get better in general. These could give you some help with that. And even if you know some of these, there might be one that you don't know about. So who knows? Just hope this can help some people to just get better and level up the riding game. So here we go. Okay, so the first one is gonna be a pretty simple one. It's gonna be just a little bit of a warm up before you go ride. Doing this every time before you go ride can really help you learn more about your board, how it works, and fine-tune your board control. So it's going to be doing circles. So you just find a good flat spot like this and just work on going tight circles, tighter and tighter. And if you can, try and get that bumper to scrape. Sometimes you might have to bail like that, but just work on tight corners in a circle. It'll work on your tire control, so you'll know where the edge of your tire is. Working on it, getting that bumper to scrape, and do it to one side and then spin around to the other. It's okay if you have to bail like that. It just means that you're now finding where the limits of your board's abilities are, and doing this lets you know, hey, how far can I push my board to the edge of a turn like that. You get a good feeling for your limits, and you get more control ability over the edge of the tire. So if you change PSIs, it's a good way to see if you like the tire pressure or not. So there you go. There's number one. All right, so this one's gonna be a pretty simple one. It's gonna be off-board practice. So this just means any practice for, balance, just leg strength, just anything like that, that you're practicing off of your board. So if you're just walking around at school or somewhere and there's like a little curb, just walk along it, just foot in front of foot, just working on your balance. It helps when riding, when doing tricks, just improving your balance. Also, it can help is just every now and then just going up on your heels, back onto your heels, onto your toes. It can help strengthen your feet, because that's the motion that you're doing when you're turning. So, foot fatigue is a real thing, and that can help a little bit. That's a super quick and simple. Sorry about that. Super quick and simple little tip, but who knows? It really could help some people. Okay, so yet another super quick, super simple tip that could really help some people. If you aren't quite comfortable with how your board is feeling, try changing it up. And I'm not saying go out and get, a cush high foot pad or a cush low for your board, or anything drastic like that. If you want to, that's great. That really could help. But if you want to just experiment with your board, mess around with the custom shaping. Custom shaping is something that it's a really useful tool, especially with something like a GT. You have so much power to play with. On the low end, you have, I forgot what it's called. It's like the equivalent of redwood, but it's just a super mellow, slower top speed, and it really feels so much different than, say, Apex. Apex is just the amount of torque you get with that is insane. It's just a whole different feeling than, say, like the beginner mode or flow. Flow is personally what I run because I love the just smooth, just feel of it. I also run a lower tire pressure. That's something else you can mess around with, is tire pressure. If you feel like your board is riding really rough, drop a PSI or two. It can really help and can make your board feel a lot better. So there's a quick tip on how to make your board feel a little bit different if you're not comfortable with how it's feeling. Another quick, simple tip. This is for a little bit more experienced riders, but if you already know how to bonk on something or how to do jumps, just finding a spot that you feel comfortable with and just sitting there for a while practicing can really help. It just fine-tunes your control over the board, fine-tunes your bonks or nudges, whatever trick you're learning. Just really put some practice and effort into it. But finding a good spot like this and just getting familiar with it can really help you get a level of sense for your board that if you just rip around town, it might not give you that same predictability on your board. So find a good spot and just practice for a little bit. Okay, this next one, super easy, super simple, yet again. And this one, any rider can mess with this. If you've already used this tip and already figured this one out, then you can go ahead and skip this part. But for new riders especially, this could be a big one. So, let me tilt my camera. On your board, you have plenty of room for your feet, front and rear. Mess around with your foot placement. Foot placement is a huge thing on the OneWheel. If you have your feet more out, you'll have a more stable ride, but you'll also have more leverage on your board. So it's easier to push the nose down. It also, depending on how tall you are, what your build is, it might be more comfortable having your feet out to the edges, but then also having your feet closer to the tire increases the torque you have because your feet are closer to the tire, so it feels snappier. For tricks, personally, I like my feet closer. Just feels more nimble. You have more carviness, and it just feels better for tricks. Personally, my everyday riding stance I have, if you want to try this for yourself, is I have my rear foot about right here. It's a little bit closer to the tire than it is the rear. And then my front foot, I have kind of an angle. This foot I keep straight. This one I kind of angle it from the front corner to the rear corner. Sometimes I'll get it like really close to the tire. You can actually see on my shoe here. It's a little bit blacker right here because it rubs on the tire sometimes. But just messing around with your foot placement can really help change the feel of your ride and can get the control that you want of your board. So now with that tip, the next tip plays into this pretty well. It's your shoes. Your shoes play a huge part of the OneWheel. If you have good shoes, personally I like low center shoes. So ones with a very low sole, that don't sit high up, and are more flat. These Nikes are more basketball shoes, but they're flat, low soles. They just make you feel super connected to the board. So again, personal preference, but trying some different shoes every now and then to see what you like could really help your riding experience. And if you get a shoe that you feel super comfortable in, could really help take you up to that next riding level and controllability level. So let's go into the final tip. Okay, so this last tip is going to be super useful if you're a trail rider. If you're a trail rider or looking for a little bit more technique while trail riding, and that tip is actually going to be using your hands. Your hands are a super important part while one-wheeling, especially trail riding and stuff. It can just give you an extra level of control over your board. I know for turning and stuff, you want to use your body to lean into it, but Also, getting your hands out to the side of you like this, to whatever direction you're going, can really help give you a little bit extra leverage to turn. Or if you're going through some chunk and feel like you're bucking around, getting your hands out can really help you balance out a lot better. It can just help you in general with balance, control, and having your hands up and ready when you ride can help you save for that one time when you do nosedive or need to run it out, and just save yourself. So your hands are a super important part to that. And then also, again, accelerating. If you're in a race, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are not going to be racing, you're going to be new riders, but if you ever get to that level where you want to race, when you go to accelerate, getting your hands out gives you that extra little bit of just oomph to get you going. You know, have your board accelerate way faster and just give you that extra little bit of leverage that you need. So your hands play a huge important role in riding, and so just learn to use your hands and your arms when riding. Obviously it's different if you're holding a GoPro, you're a little more limited on that, but when your hands are free, mess around with that and see how it feels. Trust me on that, it'll feel a lot better when riding. Hope some of these tips help you for leveling up your riding. If you're a new rider, hope some of these will help you to improve and learn, and just go out and have fun. Try some of these. Make sure you wear some gear and stay safe, stay floaty, and I'll see you guys next time.